Oh, didn't see you there. Couldn't make you out behind my 1,000 subscribers. Please, no pictures. Please, no pictures. I'm not a celebrity. Hello, my name is Owen. Welcome to another weekly update. We did it. The milestone upon milestones. The number will get bigger, but the feeling I have right now, it will never die. And I will never die. 1,000 subscribers. In all seriousness, I appreciate you all for the support. It means so much to me, guys. I've been at this for a year and a half. Some have done it faster, but some have done it slower. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. It would never be me. Even if we drop mass exodus of people leaving this, I was here. On this date, I was here. And for those of you that have been sticking around, you leave comments, we talk in the comments. You know who you are. You know who you are. I owe you guys the world. You guys really made this channel feel like I'm doing something, that I'm actually like meeting people through it, and I appreciate all your supports and your comments. And if I've ever responded to your comment or left you a little heart, I have genuinely read it and I've genuinely appreciated you coming around. And everybody else who just lurks, you know what? You're doing the Lord's work as well. I appreciate you. Every bit fuels my passion for this hobby. I'm not in it for the glory and the fame, although the glory and the fame, it's coming, guys. It's coming, guys. Just be prepared for that. Time magazine. But seriously, I do appreciate it. And more to come. Full steam ahead. More of the same, but I feel like I'm getting better every day. And I do genuinely appreciate all your guys' support. But now, for the weekly update, which you're all here for, or what I'm here for at least, is what I did last week, first of all. I released my ranking video yesterday, top 5 authors I adore. And like I said in that video, and like I said last week, I got a lot of new people coming in here. Obviously, we just crossed the 1,000 subscriber part, and I want you guys to be aware of like what I like and what I dislike. That way you have an idea of what to expect, because I feel like a lot of my videos are all over the place. I talk about a lot of random things. If you watch just one, you might be like, what is this guy, what does he do? What does he like? What does he talk about? What is he gonna make videos about? I want you guys to get a sense of like where my head is at genre-wise and what I like to zero in on. That way you know if you want to stick around. Because I don't want you to join and feel like you've been duped, feel like you've been bamboozled. If I made a video about something like, oh, he always makes videos about this thing. I don't know what I do. You just gotta, it's just vibes, you know what I mean? It's whatever I feel like. And then just spews out like a volcano of words and nonsense. But if you get a sense of what I like, you'll have a general sense of where I'll be going in the future. But yeah, that's the purpose of those videos, and I enjoyed making the one that I published yesterday. And we'll be doing more of those in November, and then December we're gonna be doing like looking ahead in 2024, what are my goals, what am I trying to read, and fun stuff like that, like forward-thinking stuff like that. So expect another ranking type video sometime in the next week. Which one that's gonna be, I don't know, maybe it might be like top 5 favorite fantasy novels or something like that. Maybe zeroing in on one of the niches that I really enjoy. Who knows? We'll see. In terms of reading, what did I get up to? Well, first of all, I took a little look at one of my old videos, because, you know, there's nothing I love more than watching myself. And I watched my what I'm reading in October video, so the video I made like over a month ago now, like 5 weeks ago at this point. And it was really funny to me, because I realized that those are the videos, the top of the month videos, where I just like blatantly lie the entire time. I'm like, because I was just thinking like, oh, like, did I actually like read what I said I was gonna read? I like lie every single top of the month, and I say I'm gonna like some books I do read that I say I'm gonna read, but like most of the time I like I'm telling fibs. And in my I'm like, oh, like, well, I'm gonna read like 11/22/63. I'm gonna like do this, I'm gonna do that. And I said something like, I gotta stop reading too many big books at once. It's not sustainable. And then like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, oh, I'll never die. I can read as many books as I want. It doesn't matter how long they are. And I'm like, I'm gonna regret this in a couple weeks. Like, I'm not regretting it, but I had to stop reading that many books at the same time. I haven't given up on any of them, but like I had to zero in on a book this week. And that book was the Libby gods have decided. They gave me my due, or my, they lent it to me. It's my lend date on my Libby app. ACOTAR 2, guys, A Court of Mist and Fury. I was given it, and I've been marching away because I figured it's like this, right? I wasn't burning out any of those books, but it's like I'd rather read 40%, or actually I read 50% of this book in 1 week rather than like 5% of every single book that I'm reading. So I really just hammered it on that, and I got like halfway through. It's a long book too. It's like 650 pages or something like that. I'll probably finish it this week because I'm in such a groove with it. But I just plan on getting that out of the way. That way I'm not on a time crunch, like an actual physical time crunch of like you got to return this in 14 days or whatever with any of my other books, and I could just finish them off because I've been waiting a long time for that one. So I'm going to knock that out. And let me just say, I do think it's better than the first one. It's strange though. And that'll play into the video a little bit because I think it's a very strange sequel, but I think I'm enjoying it slightly more than the first one. But then that being said, the part I didn't like of ACOTAR, the first one, was the last half, and I'm not at the last half yet in this one, so maybe it'll fall off again. But who knows? Who knows? But I'll be finishing that. Whether the review will come out this week depends on how long it will take me to finish it. But either this week or next week, that'll be coming out. And it'll be back to our regularly scheduled Robin Hobb, Malazan reread with a sprinkle of Dan Jones in there. And we're going to be preparing ourselves for the final stretch of December and finishing as many of these books I got stacked here as possible before the end of the year. Because it's interesting, I didn't know that November was the Read What You Own challenge. I watched a Steve Donahue video about that a couple of days ago, and apparently it's like a challenge by like Criminali, who I also follow. I just don't pay attention to a lot of things, but it's just the concept of like if you have a lot of books that you haven't read on your shelf that you got to read them. In watching some of those videos, I realized that like I'm so much better than everyone else. Like my books that I haven't read stack is literally these books here. And this is Malazan on the top right here. So I think it's like 7 books that I own that I haven't read. And I think it helps that I don't have a lot of storage space here in my new apartment yet. I want to get a shelf or something like that, but like that is basically the equivalent of all my books I own. And there's like Malazan here on the bottom, and I have a couple other books in like my main room, but I read all those ones. It's really just those ones I haven't read, and that includes all the books I have in my big shelf in like my childhood home that I had in college and that I brought home to there, and they're in storage there. I've read all of those books. So of all the books I have, which is probably like, it's not crazy amount, it's probably like maybe like a little less than 100 books. It's just those 7 that I haven't read. And 2 of those 7 I bought within the last 2 weeks. So I really don't feel that bad about myself, but I think it's an interesting challenge about like reading what you own, because I don't really have a book buying problem. I don't buy books that frequently, but Libby has definitely added a little bit of like, I do rent books when I shouldn't read books, but I feel less bad about not or just not reading books that I got on Libby. Like a lot of times the date would come up and be like, it's time to read. I'm like, it's not. Delay or cancel. You know what I mean? But I do think it's an interesting challenge, and I'm interested to see if you guys are like the big book hoarders that you haven't read, like big TBR lists, and like you buy the books and they just sit forever. Because I think it's an interesting breed of reader, and I want to know your thought process there. And does it play into your storage space? Like I feel like it doesn't make sense for me to hoard a lot of books because I would just stack them unceremoniously on this table. And I try to keep neat. I do try to keep clean, but I have at least one, in every place I've lived in my entire life, there's always one countertop, top of a dresser that's just clutter. My floor is clean, my desk is clean. I just can't stop just putting everything on top of here. Like we have like a random sock because I lost a sock while doing the laundry. I'm like, well, I guess the sock goes on top of the drawer. It doesn't, but it does now. And then this ugly mass of papers in Dungeons and Dragons books, and that's a green box of envelopes, as if I'm writing letters all the time. But it's contained here, and that's why I like to put it in a full view. That way, when I'm recording videos for the world to see, and they get a glimpse into my home life, they only see the chaos mess. You know what I mean? I'm really putting the right foot forward. I'm really setting the right impression. Why am I talking about this? Books to be read. Look at them right there. I expect those will all be finished, or at least attempted to be finished, within the next 2 months, guys. That's how bold I am. Because once I finish these long behemoths that I'm reading, and they are stacked up in there, the ones I'm currently reading, once I'm finished with those, the rest of the pile is getting eaten up because those are books I want to read, I'm excited to read, and I will read them. Yeah, but let me know what you guys are like with that. Do you buy a lot of books? Do you just go to the library now? Kindle? Who knows? But again, thank you all from the bottom of my heart, getting me to 1,000 subscribers. That's an amazing goal. I'm not stopping anytime soon. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I'm in the sweet spot of making videos on a semi-consistent basis and enjoying what I do. And that's all because of you guys and you guys responding to the things that I like to do and make me feel like it's worth it. So I do appreciate your support, and be sure to like, and for those of you that are new, be sure to subscribe if you want to join the movement. It's the newest fad. But thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys very soon.